What's up, guys? It's Cliff from Trail Grid Pro. Super pumped to be with you here today. Got some new camera equipment in from GoPro, which is going to make our trailing and off-road experiences a lot easier to document and a lot more fun to watch. So what we're going to be doing today is I'm going to mount two cameras. One is a GoPro Hero 8 Black, and one is a GoPro Hero 9 Black. The Hero 8 Black is going to be mounted as a cockpit camera, so it's going to have an eye on the driver, me in this case, and then also the passenger or anybody in the back seat. That way some commentary can be made as we're hitting the trails, just out and about, and it's always going to be documented. The other camera is going to be mounted for today on top of the vehicle, kind of on the top of the windshield, which is going to give a cool view of kind of the front of the hood and then out. I'm also in a couple days getting another camera in from GoPro, which it's going to be kind of like a wheel cam. It's going to be mounted either on the passenger side door or the driver's side door. So it's going to be able to capture some of the cool stuff on the trail or just out and about anywhere. So when it comes to GoPros, there are tons of settings that you can manipulate. My personal taste is natural, so you're not going to see any fisheye shots or anything like that. I like to get a natural view, and within the GoPro interface you can customize just about anything, and certainly getting a natural view. Also, from a color perspective, you're not going to see any crazy, frankly unnatural colors. You're going to see exactly the way that I see it coming through the windshield. So the two cameras that we're going to be mounting today, we'll start with the new release from GoPro. It's the GoPro Hero 9 Black, and the big upgrades for this device, obviously stability improvements, but it actually has a front-facing view, which is really helpful for vlogging, anybody that's doing any video recording kind of on their own. So it's super helpful for that because you can actually see what's going on, what you're recording at that very minute. So this is going to be mounted on top of the vehicle. I think I'm going to put it just kind of on the top of the windshield, suction cup it there, and see what it can do. The next camera is the Hero 8 Black. I actually have a mod pack on here. This is the media mod pack with a light as well, and this media mod has a enhanced microphone. So this is going to be the cockpit camera. So I have a light in the event that we're in a low light situation, and it also can pick up the audio a little bit better inside the vehicle, whether you're the driver, passenger, if there's people in the back. And of course I have the suction cup attached to this as well, so that it stays in place. All right, so let's get these mounted. I'm gonna get a shot of that as well for you guys, and then we're gonna hit the road. All right, I've got everything mounted now, and I'll show you the cockpit camera first. So for starters, I'm just gonna mount it, kind of right there. It might be a little hard to see. I'll open this door a little bit. But it's just suction cupped up there. I think you can see that. And it will get a good view of inside the vehicle. Good for commentary. As you can see, the mic is up there. I did take the light off because it wouldn't fit up there. So I'll find some better places for it eventually, but for now it is up there. And I'll give you a sneak peek of the shot it's gonna give right now. As you can see, it's got a pretty good view of inside the vehicle, and so it'll be perfect whether it's just me or other passengers. So now let's move on to the camera that is on top of the truck. Okay, so we're out here. You can kind of see it already. The camera's just simply mounted right at the top of the windshield. We'll get a closer look of it. It's just up there ready to capture anything that's out in front of me. The way I mounted it is you're going to get a good view, and I'll show you a sneak peek of that right now too. You're going to get a good view of the front of the hood, and then everything out in front of it. I did turn off, as I said earlier, I turned off any fisheye look, anything like that, so that it's going to be as natural as possible, so you'll be able to see what's right out in front of us. So I hope you enjoy this. And again, the camera that's mounted on the front is the Hero 9 Black, and inside is the Hero 8 Black. And all my tests so far are pretty awesome. So here we go. All right, so we're all ready to go. I've got the front camera going, the GoPro Hero 9, and then right here for the cockpit, I've got the GoPro Hero 8 ready to rock and roll. So the cameras are set up. So here we go. We're going to give it a shot. So again, I'm not going to hit any trails today. I am just going to kind of go around the areas. It's really just farmland, and drive around and see what it looks like. I don't even know these roads, to be honest with you, but we're gonna do it. So I thought this would be a good opportunity as well to talk about kind of the modifications that I've done to the truck. The first modification that I did is I went with the Morimoto LED headlights, which were a huge upgrade. And at the same time, I put in the Overland Raptor lights. I had a good buddy of mine. We did it together. Frankly, he did most of it. but that was a huge upgrade versus what the stock, front of the vehicle looks like from a lighting perspective to what it looks like now. The second one, which I did by myself, which is super easy, I just took out the stock rear taillights, the stock taillights, and put in these Eagle Eye smoked taillights, which again are a huge upgrade. So in this color, the gray color, with the stock taillights, they're like a chrome, and to me it just didn't look right. I felt like they needed to be darker, and so I put them in, and they weren't even really that expensive. They were like $250, something like that, and I felt like they kind of made the rear of the truck. And then I think all around that same time, I got the tinting done, and just basically did a 5% privacy tint all around, and then did 50% on the front windshield, and I think it looks great. And the next improvement, which in my opinion made the truck a completely different truck in a good way, is the Jeff Westcott, the Westcott Designs TRD Pro lift kit. Basically gave it 2 inches in the front and about, I guess, an inch and a quarter in the rear, leveling the stance, and it allowed for 285 70/17s with no rubbing. I went with the BFG KM3s, uses the factory wheels, which in my opinion are awesome. I wouldn't want to change those, at least not for now. And that was a huge improvement. At the same time, I took off the factory running boards and the mud flaps. And once that was done, it looks as it is now, which it has an awesome stance thanks to the Westcott team, and it's amazing. I love it. I get a ton of compliments about it, and I've been fortunate to send the Westcott team a couple customers their way that wanted the same look, and it's pretty awesome. Next on the modification list is I actually have a Gobi rack on order. I'm sorry, a Gobi ladder on order, which has been on order for a while, and I'm seriously considering scrapping that and going with the Westcott rack and ladder combo. My only thing is that I kind of like the, it's got the FJ inspired roof rack on the 2020 TRD Pro 4Runner, which I kind of like, so I'm torn. But besides that, I'm definitely going with the Westcott sliders and I'll be getting those soon. Beyond that, you know, I'm going to be getting some things for inside the vehicle. You know, all the things that you would need for camping, a lot of first aid stuff, just various things for communications, off-roading, just kind of the basic things that you'll need in order to have a successful trip. So the cool thing about these GoPro suction cups is that it says they're you know, guaranteed up to like 150 miles an hour, which is pretty awesome. I've never gone 150 miles an hour in this 4Runner. I'm not sure I've ever gone 150 miles an hour in any vehicle that I was driving. So no issues there. And so we're testing it out. I've got the one on top that I'm about to kind of test it out a little bit more, go a little bit faster. Now what I did do is I lowered all the, or I raised all the windows. So I'm hoping that the cockpit camera gives out enough light, but we'll see. So this is pretty neat over here. We're coming up over a hump. You can see the Appalachian Mountains over there, heading into Thurmont. Again, you know, we're I don't know, call it 50 miles north of Washington, D.C. in Maryland. And it's beautiful out here, man. A lot of people just think of D.C. and the surrounding areas as just this completely crowded place, but you go a little bit further out and you get places like this. I actually grew up, I don't know, 30 miles south of here, and even there is super crowded these days. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do love the city, the energy, but I love it out here. A lot more green out here for sure. Everything's a lot slower. Look at this. This is pretty cool. This is a cool road. Coming up over this hill, you get to see kind of the cool view. Really neat. You know, one of the things that I love about this 4Runner is that it's motivating me, you know, to get out and explore. I just got this in January, and before this I was actually a BMW driver, which I love BMWs, don't get me wrong, but there's just something about this, man, that I love. I really enjoy, and you know, looking forward to exploring more, a lot more camping, a lot more time spent outside, hiking. I love running, I love being outdoors, but you know, this is kind of piqued that travel bug within me that, you know, wants to get out and see more of this world. All right, kind of got away from some slow drivers. Now we're on a back road, has a speed limit of 50, so you can kind of get going a little bit. Pretty cool. Alright, so I did a test up to 70. The camera's still up there doing fine. According to the specs, that's about half of what it can handle. So this is an awesome covered bridge right here. Really quaint and cool. Old wooden bridge coming through it. And it brings you out to here, which is just a really cool area. There's a lot of covered bridges like that in this part of Maryland. Gosh, I think there might be another one right up here. Kind of all over the place. Yeah, I'd say the coolest part about living in this part of the country, or in this part of Maryland, frankly, is that, you know, I'm out here. I mean, I'm in Frederick City, so where I live is not exactly as country as this, but is that, you know, we're an hour from Baltimore, less than an hour from DC, and then really, you know, as soon as you get about 20 minutes south of here, you know, you've got cities like Germantown, Maryland, Gaithersburg, Maryland, Rockville, Bethesda, real, you know, populated areas where you got just about anything you could possibly want, you know, all in that area. So it's cool. So I suppose this is the other covered bridge. Not as cool as the other one, but still pretty cool. So this cool little town right here at the foot of the Appalachian is called Thurmont, Maryland. And yeah, it's just beautiful up here. You know, it's a no frills area. You've got some real cool, kind people, and just great scenery. You know, it's pretty hilly and just a cool place. This is the downtown area of Thurmont. Again, there's a lot you can't see. This is just Main Street, but it's a pretty quaint little chill place. All right, so we're about to hit the highway. Let's see how this thing stands up. Again, I don't really have any concerns, but still a cool test. Anybody, I'm going 90. Still up there. So I've read some reviews about how, you know, some of the reviews say the cockpit of this vehicle is outdated. You know, when I first got in the 2020 TRD Pro 4Runner, I thought it looked great. You know, it has a 8-inch screen. It's got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, all sorts of you know, features that you'd expect. Now I do know that, you know, the 2019s and down don't have the 8-inch screen. You know, I think it's 6.2 inches. They don't have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, which, you know, is something that I frankly want and expect out of a premium vehicle today. But I thought it looked great, man. I mean, that's one of the things that sold me, is that it you know, it feels like an old-fashioned truck. It's got, you know, it's got conveniences. It's got leather, obviously all the electronics, but I don't feel like I'm riding around in a luxury SUV, in the sense that it still feels rugged, but it has, you know, conveniences that I want for a vehicle that costs as much as this. And yes, that is a car seat. I have a 2-year-old daughter. She's incredible. All right, so do a little test here. Up to 90. Smoking this Jeep Wrangler. See ya. I like Jeeps. I just like the way it was better. Yeah, man, so far, so good. The camera's still attached up there, doing great. I can't wait to see the footage. But if all looks good, I'm going to be, keeping this setup with, I believe, probably the camera here if it turns out okay. If I have a passenger, I may move it over to the middle, and then I'm going to have the other GoPro sending one more that I'm going to attach either on the driver's side or the passenger side, which is going to get a cool sort of like wheel shot. So you're coming up on rocks and just sort of navigating through a bunch of crap. It's going to get a cool shot of that. All right, so that's going to kind of wrap this up for today, guys. I really appreciate you guys watching. Please go ahead and subscribe. I'm going to be posting, new content every couple days. Some longer stuff, some real just short lifestyle pieces, but hopefully it'll be all entertaining stuff and worthwhile. I really want this to be a place where people can learn and research all things Toyota 4Runner. So thanks again for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.